Corners in the E-class, stab, avoiding busters, scandalous, staying Bombay, Rolex watches and wood grain ounces of, we spike.
We're good to go. So let's do it. Let's go. So crazy that they spent this much. Look at the jump right there, yo. Just to take down Trump. Just to not have Trump be president. Like, if that doesn't show money is influence out here and people will go through drastic measures, I don't know what does. But all right, let's get into it.
We can be controlled. So this is the part where, for me, where we agree and where we disagree. This is the part. Like, I had Ari Fleischer here. You know who Ari Fleischer is? And I'm like, a couple of the decisions you guys, man, when you listen to the CI and I'm like, why wouldn't you double verify this? This is a big decision you're making to do this, to do that. Well, I don't know, but we could have done this and we could have done that. And we had Paul Manafort here. I'm like, dude, lobbying. Why? It's the dirtiest thing out there. And he's like, well, I totally get it. But, him and Roger Stone started the lobbying firm. I don't know what, one of the most powerful lobby firms that they had together 30 years ago, 40 years ago. He said, well, the other guy's going to do it. What are you going to do? Sit on the sidelines? Okay, valid point. But I like both sides not to do it, right? However.
Agree.
When you look at it now,
definitely agree.
You see the kind of money that's being spent on the left for them to push their agendas over. You set aside this lobby stuff out. You set aside corporations putting money in to who they buy. Like, the joke about Koch brothers. Well, he wakes up and says, what do I get for my birthday? Which president, right? Now it's more the left that's doing that. You got the Soroses. You got the Larry Fink and BlackRock with how their ESG score and, State Street and Vanguard. And that thing's becoming a reality where it's no longer about Democrat and Republican. It's truly becoming more about the establishment folks and the anti-establishment folks.
100%.
And if we're talking anti-establishment, Cenk, you have to agree on this, bro. You have to agree on this. I know it's going to be tough for you to agree on this, but if you don't, give me everything you got, what I say right now. You can't say Trump is an establishment candidate.
No, but I can't say he's corrupt. So there's a huge difference, and I'll explain.
Okay, fair. Go.
There is a lot of people, sorry for pausing it, but there's a lot of people, and I do have to pause, y'all, just so you guys know. I can't just let it play. So it's good because I have to pause so I get to talk about it anyways. You know what I mean? He's going to answer
most of the time,
how I feel about
it. This Leon Black story. I don't know if you saw the Leon Black story with Epstein where, he paid Epstein $158 million for consulting fees and estate planning fees over a 5-year period. And
sure,
what do you mean $158 million for those fees? And then story comes out about a 16-year-old girl who was autistic and, so
Jesus.
Yeah. By the way, this story came out. It's pretty wild. So you hear stories like this and you're like, okay, he was bought. Then you watch this video and you'll see where I'm going with this. Can you pull up the video clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson? I don't know if you have it or not. I almost don't. I'll play this clip here in a minute because I don't want to confuse the two clips. I'll come back to it where, the point is being some people flip their position suddenly where you're like,
why?
You would have never said that. Why are you saying it now?
Agreed.
What happened to you? At least with you, where you're at, some people are saying, what are you doing, bro? Why are you not making a couple adjustments, but you're like, no, this is all I'm going to talk about and da-da-da-da-da. Great. So you're not controlled. People may not agree with you, but you don't come across as a guy that's controlled, right? They don't have 100%. To like you, but you don't come across as a guy. Now, some will say, well, you took money from Soros in the past. They'll say all I'm saying to you is they'll say that's happened, all that stuff. But to me, you're unhinged, you're not controlled, and they don't like people like you, and I totally get it. You could make a couple adjustments to increase your business affairs, but that's to you. You've chosen to play the route that you're playing. When I watch a Trump and I watch some of these guys, I'm like, okay, that guy, you can win him over. Just introduce him to a couple girls. He's good. Mm-hmm. Easiest way to win guys over, right?
Yeah.
It's typically guys that don't get a lot of play, and they're not good with words. They're not good with the ladies. Hey, go do X, Y, Z to him, and he's going to fall for it at a bar. Boom. Hey, here's the clip we got from the room with you. Guess what? Da-da-da-da-da. Can happen to anybody, by the way, right? Okay. So girls is one of the ways of doing it. Attention is another way of doing it. Fame is another way of doing it. Money is another way of doing it. Guess what?
Oh,
Trump has that at all. He's had all the girls. One too many sometimes.
Fact.
Okay. Some that he was single. Some that he wasn't single. He's had all the money. He's been to all the parties. He's got all the letters from all the most powerful people in the world telling him how much they love him. Alec Baldwin, no one ever treated me like this. Oprah Winfrey, you know that book he wrote about all the letters that others wrote for him that now they hate him. Chuck Schumer used to love me. He used to love me when this, that, you know, that whole talk that he gave.
And he's right about that part.
Yeah. So, but the point is, he's had the girls. He's had the fame. He's had the properties. He's been to the parties. He's had the money. How the hell are you going to, like, does he want to be, if he's worth $2.5 billion right now?
He's not.
Let's just say he's worth, well.
He's not. He's a total loser. He's almost bankrupt.
Well, okay. So you can say that, and that's fine. But
you can't say he's a loser.
But
I don't, that's the part where I'm like, yo, this guy comes off as just like a hater because he did the same exact thing in the other video I watched. And it's like he just comes in, he's a loser, he's a loser, he's a loser. Well, even if you hate the guy, that's fine. You can hate him all you want. You can not like someone. You can not agree with their point. But you can't say the guy's a loser. The guy got several companies, CEO of several companies. The guy's, like he said, had all the girls, had money his entire career, had this and that. You can hate the guy all you want, but you can't say he's a loser. And then made it two president and one presidency. Like, how many people in their lifetime can say, hey, I was a CEO of all these different companies. I had an award-winning show for 15 years. I had probably any woman he wanted, he could probably get. He got married, he had kids, and he didn't, like, abandon his kids or anything stupid like that. And, oh, by the way, and I was president of the United States. Like, the guy's not a loser. You may not just like him, but that's the part where I just find him disingenuous, and I feel like he's just here just strictly to attack Trump. Like, he doesn't care about anything else but attacking Trump, because you can't say he's a loser.
I mean, but if you say he's bankrupt, you can say that can be your opinion. But the last 60 years, or the last 50 years, proves you wrong. Okay,
it proves me wrong.
15 years Apprentice was number one. How the hell are you that entertaining to be number one for 15 years, right? You know, financially, real estate properties, when you think about a real estate name brand, you think about one name. You don't think about 50 different names. You think about a guy that's been able to brand himself, you think about Trump. Now, are you going to buy Trump steak? Probably not. But you're going to buy...
Neither did anybody else.
Neither did... but the point is, he's had great victories. He's got kids that are doing well for themselves. He's got a daughter that, you know, has
so does Biden.
Yeah. That was a different angle you took. But where I'm going with this is, that's the part where I feel they can't stand the guy because they cannot control him. So for me, when I see... you know, what's going on with them wanting to get rid of this guy. And you're like, look, the big donors don't want to give him money. Look how much money he got. No, he can't raise any money. Nobody wants to give him any money. And look at this stuff. Yeah, but the people that are raising money are the people that are not being trusted because they're part of the establishment, left or right, a lot of people are saying. So this is why guys like RFK are getting some momentum. This is why guys like Vivek are getting some momentum.
Agreed.
Because Vivek's got his own money. RFK's coming out doing some grassroots stuff.
Like, look at how fast Vivek, like, bounced out. I never heard his name before a day in my life. But even if you didn't agree with anything Vivek really said, he comes off in a way where he's like a rebel. It's like a rebellious type of demeanor. Like, I'm not going to take shit from people. And I feel like it's people like that, like Trump, like Vivek, like, hell, you can even say like Ron DeSantis, just all these people that you see that are completely opposed to the norm. That shows what the people of, like, the actual people, because we live our lives like that. You know, we live our lives every day. Why I don't see where this guy's going with it, but let's get back into it, y'all.
So what are your thoughts on this with Trump?
Yeah. So first of all, with Trump, look, the guy's got insatiable greed. So I don't buy that, oh, he's had enough. He's never had enough, okay? Number two, he's a natural born loser. He's lost at everything except two things.
He's
Obviously,
not a
he won
loser,
the presidency
though.
in 2016. Yeah, he lost the popular vote, and Democrats cry about that. And they should. The Electoral College is terrible. It's a disaster. But he won the Electoral College. He won it, right? So you give him that for sure. and he's great at marketing. Just blah, 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 Trump, 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 Trump. And Democrats don't get it. They're such knuckleheads. They're like, oh, if we have an accomplishment, we should whisper about it on NPR. No, you should scream at the top of your lungs like Trump does. But having said that, bankrupt 6 times, got clowned in 2020, and he's been crying about it ever since, like a little spoiled brat. Had to have his dad get him into the schools that he got into. He hides his grades from high school and college because he's a loser. He's a spoiled little baby. He blew $413 million from his dad, blew it all. Then he got $400 million from Apprentice. Why was that successful? Because of the producers. I know the producers on that show. They had to treat him like a baby. Hey, baby, come here. Baby, say this.
The same producers have done shows that flopped.
Yeah,
you know
no, but they were also the same producers who did other number one hits.
It is so hard to keep.
Yeah, but not for 15 years straight.
Number one hit show for 15 years.
But if you want to say Trump is entertaining, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's pretty good at marketing, right? And he says these terrible things, but people laugh, right? And I get it. And you know his giant strength that people don't talk about, and no one in mainstream media acknowledges this. He doesn't look fake. I think he's a con man, and he's been a con man his whole life, but he looks authentic because he doesn't go off a prompter. And you think, well, that's a real guy. He's saying crazy crap that nobody else.
The dude, I'm gonna let him finish, y'all. But like, are we really talking about Trump right now? Like, the dude is the most 100% himself, like, definitely real. So that just threw me off a little bit. And then real quick, a minute ago, when he brought up all these things about him being a loser and this and this and this and this and this and this, it's going to take losses in your life. It's just what you do with it. It's what you do with that loss and what you can do to improve yourself and better yourself. Here, this is the part where I'm like, yo, this guy comes off as the biggest hater in the world to Trump. Like, I personally think Trump, like the energy he gives off right now, yo, is hatred. I don't understand how you have that much hatred for a dude that you, unless there's a lot of things we don't know. Maybe they had a personal relationship back in the day. Were they ever good friends? Like, you don't get that type of hatred from anywhere, yo. That's like, he had to have done something. Something had to happen for you to hate someone that much. That's just funny to me. Like, yo, I look at it as jealousy. All I see from this is this guy is jealous as hell, and he's envious and he's jealous. That's exactly what I get from this.
Else would say, and all the other politicians look like actors. They're robots. They come out like Buttigieg came out from a factory. Everybody knows that, right? Yeah. Gavin Newsom, but also DeSantis and McConnell. They're all robots. They come in, I will do this. I have been told by my donors this is great policy, right? And so he has the feelings of authenticity. But if you look at his records, like you said, great in real estate, he's awful in real estate. In Atlantic City, he built 3 casinos. Everybody said, you're going to cannibalize it, you moron, your own business. And you know, one of his top assistants says he just likes his name in lights. So he'd like to see Trump, Trump, Trump in Atlantic City, and he bankrupted all 3 because he sucks at business.
You think you're good in business?
Facts. And then, if you want to say that, then talk about the fact that if he bankrupted them, he must have clearly built them back up. He had to have built them back up because he's not bankrupt right now. He's still got the Trump Towers. So that's this guy, yo. He like focuses on. He comes off to me like when I'm arguing with certain exes I've had, yo. Like he comes off like this is a relationship argument because he's not looking at anything logically right now. He's looking at this like I don't know. It's just all off emotion. It's pure emotion. That's weird, Joe.
Yes.
You think you're
that's really weird.
Yes.
Jank.
Yes.
Seriously.
Like Trump had to have done something to him, yo. Trump had to like take his girl or something.
March 30, 21st. It's okay. Yeah. You're a Pisces. You're a Pisces.
Aries.
What's
you
up?
made it to Aries.
Yes.
What's up, bro? I'm Rumble. What's going on, yo?
Okay. So he's on April 10th. You're March. So you barely are in Aries, though, by one day, right?
Beginning of the spring.
Okay.
You made the cut, man.
Yeah.
You made it.
So okay, bro. When you say that, you know, for me,
shout out to all I'm saying.
I feel like if there's anybody
what's
that
going
would
on,
be
bro?
like a pro-Trump kind of confusing way would be you. Okay, I know this is like this guy's lost his mind. You have no clue who the F I am. Are you crazy? There's no way. Because in business, you know, do you have a perfect record with business? No. Do I have a perfect record with business? No.
Nobody does. Yeah.
Nobody does. But, has Trump taken it to certain levels that his dad didn't take it? Yeah, that's not easy to do. His dad wasn't as famous as this guy got. It's a very hard work to do that. There's a lot of kids that are spoiled kids from a rich father who don't do shit with the money, and they become crack addicts.
I just talked about
this. They become drug addicts. And they hire prostitutes all the time, and they go try to sell their laptops at different places. And they, I'm not saying about anybody specific, but this happens every once.
Saying it about somebody specific.
This kind of stuff does happen every once in a while, right? There's stories like that you hear about. It's like, oh, okay, this guy's going to make it. This guy's not going to make it. So there is something about him. One can say John F. Kennedy became a president because of his father, Joseph Kennedy, because okay, fine. Dang, Joseph Kennedy became successful because his dad had all this money.
That's funny.
Okay, fine. Okay. There's some of it that's got to go to the credit of the individual. Perfect. So if I listened to you and I didn't know who you were, okay, and I just came to America, and I've heard about this Trump guy, and I've heard about the Biden guy, and I'm listening to you, I would say that guy is angry
He's a
at
hater.
Trump for what reason? He's either envious of Trump.
He's
angry with him because he sounds personal. He doesn't sound like he's being reasonable.
He sounds
he's being personal when he's attacking Trump. And I think he loses.
I literally just said that. It seems like Trump must have took his girl or have done something to him. Me and this guy are right on track when it comes to that. And I feel like most of the people it's gotta be a majority of people that agree the same. When they hear a conversation like this guy is just, I don't know what Trump did, but Trump, whatever you did to this guy, this guy is mad and he has not let it go since then. And I don't know if Trump did anything, but the way he comes off, he had to have done something.
Loses credibility a little before taking the
I don't know why this guy is so
you're coming
emotionally
from a place
invested.
Of saying this guy got this much money and he became rich because of this, and he's a loser, he's a this. The guy was on Oprah Winfrey, 1988. And Oprah Winfrey says, so, hey,
I never knew that.
Somebody that's going to, you've seen this, you sound like somebody that's going to run for office one day. No. Well, do you have any plans? No, but if I ever did, I would win. Who the hell says that? That's like a Babe Ruth call. When you say I'm going to hit the home run, you point the finger and you
Trump
hit it.
said that? I never knew that. That's dope.
His show crushed it. He crushed it in New York going up against all these other guys. He's done good with women. He's done good with his kids.
I said that earlier too, y'all.
I don't know. Love him or hate him. I don't have a relationship with him. So there is not like I'm defending this guy. I'm doing it. We're in Florida because of DeSantis. We came here because all of a sudden DeSantis, I'm watching him market. I'm like, dude, you're not even out there doing your part marketing. Finally, he's getting to it, and now everybody's asking a question that they shouldn't be asking you, which is what? Why are you so down on the polls? Can you make a comeback? You should have never allowed these people to ask that question if you would have played offense earlier. But when you see a winner and complicated individual, a misunderstood individual, I don't know how many people you're going to put on the list as Trump in the history of America, by the way. Whether you love this guy or hate this guy, it's kind of tough to, demonize the guy's resume. And I know you like to do this, but it's kind of tough to do it.
Not remotely tough.
You think so?
So, Pat, look,
all right,
I'm giving you nuance.
I want to really hear this guy's answer. I want to see what he comes with.
Answers. I'm telling you that he's anti-establishment in some ways, and that's part of his appeal.
Facts.
I'm telling you he's good at marketing. And almost everything you're saying is he's good at marketing. He was good on TV. He was good at marketing his book. He went on Oprah. It's marketing. No,
you said he wanted two things. And what I did is I showed his resume. That's more than two things. It's a bunch of different things that he wanted. That was my defense to you saying he only wanted two things, not the marketing side.
Pat, imagine if your dad gave you $413 million.
Which we don't know that's the number. Okay, you're saying $413 million.
New York Times says this was $413
New York Times also said science is
New York Times.
I have to take the
New York
COVID
Times has also lied about me. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, but his dad was enormously wealthy.
There's no question about it.
Enormous fortune.
Yeah.
And which he lost.
413 by today's standards, or what was it back then? What was the actual?
14 million is the number you hear about.
No way. It's look, I forget. I think it's by today's standards, but I'm not positive.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm trying to let him finish because I want to see where he's going to go with this.
That's not how inflation works. So, but Pat, if they gave it to you, you'd probably be worth $4 billion by now.
I don't know about that.
Keyword.
It's such an enormous.
Hold on, y'all. I'm not trying to just constantly pause it, but I this part I have to speak on. Key word. He said you probably, hence the key word he just said right there. Hypothetical is what I was meaning to say. Like, this guy just came with a hypothetical. Oh, you probably, but that's not the case. And like I said way earlier in this video, I was talking about how there's a lot of people that get rich. You see all these lottery stories of people that get rich and then go broke, gambling it all the way. You see all these people that come from, if that was the case, that would mean every single person that came from a rich family's household would probably be a billionaire right now or probably be successful right now. And they're not. A lot of them aren't. And I don't even know. I don't know 90% of the people that are rich and that aren't rich. I have no idea. I'm not rich, so I didn't come from that lifestyle. But, I mean, that's why I say he comes off as pure jealousy. It's got to be, because there's nothing else it can be except jealousy. Like, the goal is to be successful, whether that's a lot of money, whether that's just enough to live comfortably, whatever the case is, I want my daughter to do good. But when you spew stuff like that and always look at people that come from rich families as nothing, right? Like, oh, this or blah, blah, blah. When you put that energy out there, you're basically saying, well, your dad or your family should not have been successful. But then yet you look at the next guy when you're around women or when you're trying to get this girl and you're trying to be more successful than the next man and be competitive because you're both trying to get the same girl. It's so crazy to me, yo. That shit is whack to me. Like, no, you should try to be successful. You should try to be the best at what you can be. And whatever the case is, just the one thing you should not do is put money above everything else in this world.
We did a research on a generational wealth. I got kids, and I'm trying to see how do I set it up for my kids to get my wealth without them being spoiled. Okay, so it's something that's important to me. I kind of want to figure out. I'm in a community, a couple families do it right, so I said, let me go on and study this to see how to do it right. Vanderbilt's. Do you know how long the wealth lasted? This guy was the richest man in the world, giving money back to the country. You know how many generations money lasted? Two generations.
Usually it's always two generations.
The only wealth that lasted 7 generations, the Medici. Medici lasted 7 generations. It's the only one. Every other one is 2, 3. Rockefeller's still on 4 right now. They're not even on 5, 6, 7. So the notion when you're saying, like, if you would have had a head start, bro, a lot of people, you give them money, they become spoiled little brats. I had a guy I interviewed who lives in Seattle. You know what his job was? He managed the Templeton family, 16 grandkids. You know what his job was? His job was, he was the guy dealing with billionaire families. And the reason why Seattle, you know why Seattle, Amazon, Microsoft, all those guys, there's all these billionaires and guys that are worth $100 million that no one knows who they are. He's worth $28 million, $148 million, $300 million.
Yes, sir.
They're kids, drug addicts. He says, my biggest job with these guys was to make sure they didn't do drugs. They didn't do alcohol. But you know what the biggest problem with me was? He says, what's that? They typically came to me too late. They came to me too late that I couldn't do anything about it. Dude, this guy's never drank alcohol. He's never done drugs. He doesn't do that. I mean, that kind of stuff to come from that amount of opportunity to screw up, dude, that's not easy to do.
Agreed. And I want to see where he goes with this. I'm not going to make this talk a long one right here because I got to see what I want to see. What I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and just say what response. But no, by the way, he's been responding. I want to see what crazy response he tries to come with now when I know it's all from emotion. But I just wanted to say, like, I didn't even know that about Trump. That's dope. I had no idea. I didn't know Trump didn't drink. I don't know if that's completely true or not. I can't just take his word. I'm going to have to fact check that myself. But I don't see a reason for him to lie in that situation. So, and I applaud that. I think
6? He's never had a successful business.
Yo.
Trump steaks, Trump water, Trump casinos. You can't
Bro,
name a successful business. He bought an
right
airplane
now,
company. He put gold seats in an economy airline and immediately went bankrupt. He's terrible at business.
Guy, bro.
But look, if you say it's personal, well, number one, it isn't because I'm giving you nuance on both sides.
It's clearly personal, bro. You are emotionally invested in hating this man.
When he lost the election in 2020 and said, screw it, I'm going to try.
This guy just literally said, and I try to let him talk, but this guy just said it's not personal, and then just leaded his conversation right here with the next sentence with, it's personal because, come on, man, no one caught that? I'm the only one that caught that? There's no way.
A coup. I'm going to do
You know
these
what?
fake elector schemes.
I said I don't go back on lives. We're going to go back just to catch that. Because that is ridiculous. Listen to what this guy just said. I don't even care. We're going back. I don't care.
Bankruptcies. It happens, brother. 6? He's never
guy's
had a successful
ridiculous,
business.
yo.
Trump steaks, Trump water, Trump casinos. You can't name a successful business. He bought an airplane company. He put gold seats in an economy airline and immediately went bankrupt. He's terrible at business. But look, if you say it's personal, well, number one, it isn't, because I'm giving you nuance on both sides. Okay, but having said that, look, it got personal when he lost the election in 2020.
But then it got personal
and said, screw it, I'm going to try a coup. I'm going to do these fake elector schemes.
You can't make
I'm going
this
to try
shit
to
up,
rob America of its democracy just so I can stay in power. Screw that guy. And if any of you are voting for that guy who's totally un-American, who betrayed this country, you're nuts, and he won't ever leave office. He's a wannabe dictator. He always praises dictators, whether it's Xi in China, whether it's Kim Jong-un in North Korea, Putin. He's always saying, oh, they get all the applause when they walk in. No one is allowed to disagree with them. And then freedom, my ass. He hates freedom. He wants to take away everyone's freedom so that all the power goes to him. Okay?
All right, bro.
So, no,
yeah, even
Pat,
me and him started laughing about
you.
this. I am definitely laughing at him. F that. He said he's not laughing at him. I'm laughing at that guy. Because that guy, that's hilarious to me, bro. First, then you said you're not personally invested, but yet you are personally invested because you're emotional about this. Then you go on a rant like that, and the 3 things you say, he's really bashing Trump on these 3 bullet points here. He said he's un-American. He runs a dictatorship. And what was the third one he said? He said, he's not about freedom. Yo. Well, I already knew we lived in opposite world. We're in the upside down world for real. But that is crazy. Out of all the things you could have said to diminish Trump, and you bring the 3 things that Trump showcases the most that he is. Even people that hate Trump, people that dislike Trump, because this guy clearly hates Trump and he's emotionally involved. I think Trump must have took his girl or something had to happen. That's what I honestly think. I think Trump went over there and did a little one night stand with his wife and he found out about it because the way that he talks is crazy. But to come up with those 3 bullet points, that is the 3 things even far leftists will sit here and agree that Trump is pretty American and Trump is definitely about freedom. And then this is a far leftist talking about freedom, But that's for another day. I'm not trying to make it political like that. But this is an extreme leftist up here trying to say that this guy is not about, that Trump's not about freedom. I swear we live in an upside down world. Yeah, that was fun to watch. I think that was pretty interesting.